Call the meeting to order at 5:39 with a roll call.
Kim Leonard,
Here.
Colleen Klimzek,
Here.
Gina Cannon here, Catherine Fontaine.
Here.
Claudia Parker. Is she gonna be
Oh,
on
I
Zoom?
apologize. I was supposed to call her. Thank you.
Dan Malloy.
Here.
Kevin O'Connor.
Here.
She'll be here. I'm watching going, hey, why did they call me? Hello. Hi, how are you? We are live on our open meeting for the cow. Could you, Gina's going to call you for attendance.
Claudia Parker.
She called. Thank you. Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like somebody to make a motion to approve the agenda for the cow meeting as outlined.
I'll make that motion.
And a second? And a roll call?
Dan Malloy.
Yes.
Colleen Klimzek.
Yes.
Kim Leonard.
Yes.
Gina Cannon. Yes. Catherine Fontaine.
Yes.
Claudia Parker. Claudia.
Claudia?
Yes.
And Kevin O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Thank you. At this time, do we have any public comments during our cow meeting? Let the record show that there are no public comments for our committee of the whole meeting. And at this time, we are going to move to Crystal Financial Consultants presentation by Dr. Robert Grossi. Dr. Longo, would you like to just
Yes,
introduce
so-
him?
Yes, please. So Dr. Grossi is with Crystal Financial. You might know Rob. He has been very active both at the state and national level in politics relative to supporting school districts getting funding. Rob and I, full disclosure, worked together in South Cook County and organized financial seminars for superintendents looking at both the local level funding, state funding, and the national economic picture. Tried to bring specialists in to educate superintendents on finance. Rob has a long history of advocating for schools. His family's been very active with schools, both teaching and school business, and has really done some amazing work. Rob and Leila and I worked on the effort to disperse the Regional Office of Education. We were on a committee looking at the financial implications of keeping an office open in South Cook County. Realized we could do it in smaller offices, so worked to reconstruct the regional offices of education throughout Cook County. So I'd like to introduce Rob. He's going to talk to us about how he can help us out, taking an introspective look at ourselves financially, so that we can, when the new superintendent starts, we can work on a good, strong strategic plan that's backed with finances. So, Rob?
Thank you, Margaret. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's nice to have a face-to-face meeting. So many virtuals. Anyway, thank you for inviting me tonight. I actually, if you go to the next slide, I just put something really briefly together. But actually, in 2013, I was hired by the board. I don't know how many people were here at that point in time, but I was asked to prepare a financial analysis and a funding plan for some major capital projects that were going on in the district. And then the district had a strategic planning committee that I was asked to serve on. So we met pretty often, and that was a nice part. Very impressed with the community and the people and the passion for the community, kind of determining your new mission, vision stuff. So I thought that was really a neat process. I work with probably more, certainly South and Southwest school districts than anybody. Been doing this for over 30 years. I know it doesn't look it, You can see my gray beard behind the mask. But anyway, what I often do for school districts is I go in and I do an analysis, an independent analysis of the district's financial situation. Do a 5-year projection based on information gathered by the school district, from the school district, and what I know from the state, that's going on with school funding, et cetera. Present that to the Board of Education and to the administration with the goal of presenting it in a very clear way, understandable way, so that when you make your major decisions, you're making it on the basis of data. That's always my objective. In addition to that, I work very closely with a lot of the business managers, old and new, but especially in the situation where new business managers are coming in or new superintendents are coming in, working closely with them. Pretty much any problem that a district has or any issue that a district has, I've seen it before. I feel like I can help guide them along the way. So there's several business managers right now that I'm working with that I help them with their tax levy. I help them with their budget. And anytime during the year, if they have any questions, they give me a call. And I either guide them to the answer, or if it's something I don't know, I get the answer for them or hook them up with the right person. So that's what I do for school districts. I'm currently probably working with about 20 school districts right now. And I love it, very passionate about it. I think that this is a very unique time for schools. I think that, and it'll be part of the presentation, but I'm very concerned about what's happening in Springfield and how bad Springfield is financially and how that may impact school funding. So I think that schools need to be right on top of that and be prepared to make adjustments if they have to, if something adverse happens. So I think that the schools I work with will know up to speed what's going on in Springfield. Obviously, things go up and down, things change all the time, but you'll have the most up-to-date information and how it will impact the state and how it potentially could impact your school district. So as you're making this major decisions in terms of collective bargaining, capital projects, whatever, staffing size, things of that sort, you'll be making that decision with good information. So that's what I do.
Thank you. Thank you. And welcome back.
Thank you.
We are grateful that you decided to come back and spend some time with us and sharing your expertise. So
Thanks.
we look forward to listening to you tonight.
Thank you. So are there any questions at this time so this, I kind of just talked about this, but this is part of what I would do as a financial advisor to the school district is the financial report to the board that I was talking about, assessing the district's current financial condition, 5-year projections, current threats, updates on what's going on in Springfield, budget and levy assistance, and then any other information. So districts will have me come in, and I believe I might have done this in this district before, where I sit down maybe with the union and just have a conversation. I have a good relationship, I think, with the IEA and the IFT in terms of being neutral and not being having any bias. But giving honest information. And so if a school district's in the process of negotiations, oftentimes they'll have me come in for the first meeting or something like that. So just a little bit of anything, if there's a grant question, whatever comes up. And again, I understand that you're transitioning your core administration, and I think that it heightens the value that I could provide a school district.
Excellent.
If I could say that in my experience in my district where I spent my life as a superintendent, at one point in time, it was determined that if we did not get our finances in order, we were going to go into deficit spending. We put together a plan that brought in the stakeholders, and we were able to, and Rob was part of that process, we were able to, in fact, in 2010, we left the district. When I retired, we had a $24 million fund balance. Wow. So within a 7 to 10 year period, we went from being on the watch list or going into deficit spending, but because of the acute planning that we were able to do, we were able to end with the fund balance, making sure that it fit into the strategic plan. If it doesn't fit, you don't buy it. So it truly, Yeah, he's our guru. He's our go-to person. And just appreciate you being here this evening.
Thank you. And there's, before proviso, there was 2 school districts that were kind of taken over by the state because of various issues. And both of those districts, I was appointed one time to be the CEO of the School Finance Authority and one time to be the chairman. And then I was asked to be involved with proviso, but I think I wisely declined.
Can you tell us a little bit like the time frame for the, at least the first set of activities?
Sure. So for a presentation, so today is whatever, January 20th. I would say that by the March meeting, I would be able to provide a report to the Board of Education, present a report to the Board of Education if it desires. Probably pretty good timing. We might have some ideas of what's going to happen in Springfield by then. Clearly, once the legislative session ends in May, we may have a better idea on that. But I think that in March, to present to the Board of Education, if it's so desired, would be a very applicable target. And with that being said, if there was something pressing and February had to be the date, we can make that happen as well.
Okay, great. That helps. And then maybe one other question, unless email says something, but in terms of sort of serving as a resource, is that you, like how big is your group? Is that you, or do you send sort of, do you have a team that maybe you send out someone else, or are we working directly with you?
So it's primarily me. It would essentially all be me unless there's issues that have a specific uniqueness to it, where I would bring somebody in. There was, a school district I work with that had maybe a very unique special education issue. I would have somebody come in with greater expertise than I in that area and help with that. But virtually every district I work with, it would be just me.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that has any questions? All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You want to ask the principals or anybody?
Do any of the principals? I'm sorry, Dr. Gertrude. I'm sorry. So while we have you here, and we do have a few moments, I'd like to extend the same question with Mr. Kostecki or any of the principals that are here today. Do you have any questions that you'd like to, or administrators that have any questions about this, how this process works, or? No.
I'm a big fan of slashing principal
All
budget.
right. Well, thank you. I'm sorry. So thank you so much. And I do remember you were instrumental in the last time when we were working on our strategic plan. And I do remember your presentation for the finance. So I am appreciative of all the good work that you've done for our school district in the past. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
So thank you. If there's nobody other questions, we will let him on his way. All right. So it sounds like he will be able to give us an outlook of things that we would need for our things that would be for our financial stuff. I'm sorry, did you?
No, he was just asking, should he leave? And I said, just wait a minute.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, it just sounds like that, kind of like he has done in the past, even and he didn't do it as, I remember at the strategic plan, obviously it was a short period of time that we were working in a night, but he talked about things that we could do and we did capture some of the things I do remember. Can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while, but yeah, so I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I think it will help us with our forecast and,
A snapshot of what is and then what we need to
what
do.
is and yes, what's worked and what hasn't. And then of course, like you said, there's so much going on in Illinois, down in Springfield. It's hard to follow. I keep getting all those emails, those legislative updates, sometimes wow. All right, so with that, if no one has any questions, we can adjourn this meeting. All right, make a motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor? Aye. 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 Let the record show that there is all in favor of ending the committee of the whole meeting. We will begin our next meeting promptly at 6 o'clock. So thank you very much for joining us. I gotta call Claudia, but yeah, you can start us.
Yeah, screen.
I'll wait till Claudia at least answers. Hi, Claudia, we are on, we're gonna start the meeting if you're ready. All right. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:01 with a roll call
Leonard,
here.
Colleen Klimzak,
Here.
Gina Cannon here, Catherine Fontaine. Here. Claudia Parker,
Here.
Dan Malloy,
Here.
and Kevin O'Connor.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Claudia Parker will be joining us via conference call, so I apologize. I was making sure that I have her on speaker. At this time, I would like somebody to make a motion to approve the agenda as outlined at your desk.
I'll make that motion.
And a second,
I'll second.
and a roll call.
Gina Cannon, yes. Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine.
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
and Dan Malloy.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Thank you. Oh, okay. So at this time, we have very exciting news. Our next thing on the agenda is to approve the District 124 Superintendent effective July 1st, 2021. At this time, I just want to thank our community, our administration, our staff, our students. It has been a long time coming. The resignation of Dr. Maychek came during a year when it was very difficult during the pandemic. And Dr. Leela Webb and Margaret Longo have stepped in and have done an amazing job. And through their leadership and through their help, we have secured with the IASB a superintendent. So at this time, I would like someone to please make a motion to approve the superintendent District 124 contract of Dr. Jenna Woodland,
I'll make that motion.
second.
and a roll call.
Dan Malloy,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine.
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Gina Cannon. Yes. Motion has passed.
If she could join us, please, and she has remarks.
Yes, yes. So it is with great pleasure, we would like to introduce Dr. Jenna Woodland.
Thank you so much to the Board of Education, the staff, and the community. I am honored to serve as your next superintendent of Evergreen Park School District. To begin with, I wanted to share that I am a teacher, a mentor, a coach at heart. It is who I am. It is what I believe in. It is my everyday why. Recently, I had a teacher of my own ask me, what am I most proud of? And my response was simple. It is my work with students for students, my work with educators for educators, my work with a community for a community, partnering together, making decisions about what is best for kids. When I had time to reflect on this, the word unity came to mind. Unity is about pulling on the same rope, creating shared leadership. It is strength, collaboration, and teamwork. A partnership that allows for all stakeholders to be a part of the decision-making process. Evergreen Park School District, I look forward to a vision that includes transparency and communication and a collective voice in what is best for the organization and most importantly, student learning. I see so many special characteristics in Evergreen Park and I look forward to working with you. I see a community that absolutely loves their teachers. I see a group of educators that have put a tremendous amount of work into educating children. I see a partnership between home and school that allows for a sound educational upbringing of a child. It is a family here that preserves tradition and celebrates moments that are absolutely worth celebrating. To be part of this new home and family and to engage in these traditions and take part in your community is a gift. This is by far one of the best gifts I have ever been given. My time as a classroom teacher and administrator taught me many valuable lessons. I learned quickly that my passion resides in providing relevant and meaningful professional development opportunities to teachers and innovative instruction to students. Educational technology is near and dear to my heart and is due to the experiences that it offers to our students. I find joy, everyday joy, in collaborating with educators because the way in which we learn is by learning from each other. Although my official start date is not until July 1st, we will find time to get to know each other and begin to build relationships that are built on honesty, trust, and loyalty. I wanted to extend my gratitude to the Board of Education for seeing something in me. I am beyond grateful to you, and I look forward to our continued relationship. I will not let you down. I assure you of that, and I will work every single day to make sure that doesn't happen. And lastly, I wanted to say, I am joined here by my husband, and I am lucky that he is here. He is a proud union employee, and he doesn't get a lot of time to come to meetings, and he said he wanted to be here with me tonight, and I am so lucky to have a support system, and that leads me to family. That's huge to me, and I look forward to extending my family to you and to partnering with you and becoming a family as one. So thank you so much, and I look forward to our next steps.
Yes, thank you. Oh, we have a little swag to get you started.
Oh my gosh.
So on behalf of the District 124, we would like to present you with a little.
Oh my God, and I love pink. I know.
We knew that.
Yes, thank
So, thank you so much, and we are very excited. We hope that everyone will stay around and say a little hello to you.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Excellent.
We do have cake, but it's individualized cake.
Oh, yes.
So everybody gets to take their cake.
I said there might be cake.
Oh, you were right,
I
Kelly.
said
you were
there might be
right.
cake.
So Sonia has gotten us some cake. It is all individually wrapped and served to, yes. I think that's what she's getting. Is that what she's getting?
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Back
Oh, look at her, there she is.
Always magic, yes.
That's the only reason why there's kids in the audience and will stay for a few more minutes.
So Jenna, on behalf of Dr. Bridget Webb and I, we want to really welcome you to the district and tell you that it is the best place to be. You are- I'm so excited about your enthusiasm.
Thank you so much.
These people out here are the best you've ever worked with. They are some of the most talented, smart, caring individuals. Some of them are really really funny.
I know who they are.
And every meeting with them is a joy. And this board has been an absolute joy for both of us to work with. We're glad you landed here. We understand that your husband might be from Evergreen Park.
He is. He's from Evergreen Park, and my father-in-law was
Welcome
the
home.
captain of the fire department in Evergreen, and my mother-in-law worked at a little company for quite some time.
Was there a Baskin
so-
Robbins connection?
They did, yes.
I thought so. I thought I heard the rumor. We like
That
ice cream.
explains why there's always ice cream in our refrigerator.
Yeah, we like ice cream for sure. So welcome home.
So did you graduate from CMS too?
I'm sorry?
Did you graduate from Central?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, it was a CJHS, yes. It was a junior high when you went here.
I too want to echo Dr. Longo, Margaret, because this has been and continues to be the most wonderful experience a retiree could have. It's just, the district, the staff, it's been awesome for me. And so you could not have found a better place. And your words, it fits. It just fits what my experience has been here. So
And just wait till you meet our
congratulations.
teachers, you're gonna love them.
I cannot wait to meet your teachers.
And our support staff, they're
Yeah,
second to none,
absolutely.
they really are wonderful.
This is a great place to come and learn, so.
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful.
We are so excited that you are here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh.
There's not always cake.
That's okay. I'm
There's
totally okay with that.
often cake. We do find reasons to celebrate.
We do
It's a
like to
thing.
celebrate, yes. We like to celebrate our students, we like to celebrate our staff and administration, so yes, we do.
Which leads us right into our next section.
Excellent.
We started, this is our someone you should know portion, where we bring in different acknowledge. So our first presenter will be Alex Meister, who will present on the district Christmas card design winners. As you know, we had to move everything from December to January. So Alex?
Yeah, so it was awesome. For the third year in a row, we let our kids design our holiday cards for the district, which was really cool. Those go out to local businesses and school districts and things like that. So it was so much fun. We had over 50 submissions this year, coming in from everyone from kindergarten to 8th grade. We had, kindergartners like struggling to stay in the lines, but still cute.
Yeah.
We had central kids like submitting graphic design, like very cool work. So it's all over the spectrum. We got some great submissions in, so much so that for the first time this year, we had 2 winners, both of which are here today. So, and you can see it up on the screen. Catalina Ortiz, 4th grade from Northwest, did the snowman design, and Aaron Finico, 3rd grade Southeast, did the back. And you can't see it, but the people are holding up signs that say, "We're in this together." So both were fitting with the COVID mask on the snowman. And so congratulations to you guys. I think we'll come up and take a picture.
Exactly.
We've got some gift cards for you.
Oh, all right. So can our 2 winners come on up with us? We have, come on over here.
Congratulations.
From here. You guys gonna come around? Everybody come around? All right. So Catalina Ortiz, here you go. Here is your gift card. And here is a framed copy of your. Oh, Aaron Panico, here you go. And this is your framed copy of your picture on your side. There we go. Great job. And I think Alex is gonna take our picture. You guys gonna come around? Everybody, come on up.
I keep doing this. Nobody's paying attention.
So we're gonna have you 2 take 2 steps up
We have
because you're
9 or
probably
6
the.
feet.
Can you,
There we
I'll hold
go.
on to your gift cards. Can you show off your picture?
Oh, there we
You can see
go.
it?
He's
They
keeping
are
them.
wonderful.
Make sure you
I'm
get it
taking
back
these to
from him.
Culver's.
Can you get all of us?
Yeah.
Even the people who are not as tall as you.
Hey.
That's right, we're back. Do
We're
do
gonna
need to
stand on
form
our
another
chairs.
row of the tall people?
No, we're okay. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And you know
Great
what?
job.
We have cupcakes, so make sure before you leave. You
Are they
Microsoft
Northwest.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
My-
Peter,
my
all right,
heart
go
is
back to
still on.
Mark.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Oh, our next someone you should know will be presented by Vice President Clemson.
But first, we're gonna do a presentation, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
Yes.
Which way, Alex, do
Do you want me to intro her first or
Yes.
intro her after?
yeah, go ahead and intro her.
I was making smiley faces at you behind my mask, but you can't see behind my mask. So I would like to introduce to all of you, Kristen Bilas, as someone that you should know. Yes. You may know her as the wonderful speech and language pathologist at Northeast School. You may also know her as through the Southwest Elementary School and now the Central Middle School community because she has a 6th grader and an 8th grader at Central, and a little one, how old is she now, 3?
On Saturday,
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So she's not in one of the schools yet, but she will be soon, soon enough. So I met her years ago. We won't count, we'll just say years ago, for a completely different reason, however. And that is because she is also an amazing singer. And maybe you don't know that about her. So she and I met over music at our local parish at Most Holy Redeemer, where she cantors for masses and special events in normal times, right? So before pursuing her undergraduate and master's degrees in speech and language pathology, Kristen graduated from Northwestern University with a degree in vocal performance, classically trained, and theater. So there you go. She states, and I loved this, I still love incorporating music and a lot of drama in my role as a speech and language pathologist. She doesn't just help our students with her skills, she also works in the hospital setting on weekends with patients who have strokes or swallowing that need diagnostics to help them do well as well. And she shared, I love my job. I'm hoping that's both of them because I can't even believe with 3 kids at home and everything else. So we're so blessed to have you here. When I toured the schools back in November, we started at Northeast, and I mentioned to Dr. Bridges-Webb how remarkable you are, and that has brought us to today, the present. So our community is so blessed by your beautiful self and by your beautiful voice. So thank you for that, and I wanted everyone to know this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, some hidden talent that we did not, yes.
She can't hide it.
No.
It's too beautiful, and she can fill a church like nobody else I know. It's just glorious. So we have, yes? Yep. Okay. It's gonna be hard not to hug you, love. You know that.
Thank you so much.
No,
And welcome.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations.
This is the kind of talent we have
Yes,
here.
it's wonderful.
A lot of Star Spangled Banners around Veterans Day. Veterans Day is my big assembly. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Ready?
You can't tell we're smiling.
I know, right?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our next someone you should know is someone in our business office, Shannon Cusack. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How could I The
whole
So
family here
Alex is
tonight.
going to present Linda Panico, who is our Parent and District Foundation Vice President. Who we are very grateful for. Incredible. I mean, Alex is going to talk about her, but I have to tell you, from the minute we walked in here, she works so hard on behalf of our families to make sure that our families have meals, our families have clothing, our families have everything that they need. She's always volunteering her time and giving time to others. So Alex, do you want to?
Well, Dr. Longo stole much of my speech.
Say it again. That's what you know.
We can say it again because we love it.
Well, I was gonna start off with, I don't know if Linda qualifies because everyone already knows Linda Panico. No, but she's done a great job. She's the vice president of the foundation, the president of the Southeast Booster Club. And just as an Evergreen Park resident, she goes above and beyond. She's hosted countless fundraisers that I'm sure everyone's heard about with Culver's, Raising Cane's, and others. She even put together a fundraiser where people clean your garbage can, and somehow we benefit from it. So she really digs deep for those.
Oh.
And what people don't know is all that fundraising money is used for grants that the foundation gives to teachers to better educate our kids. So it's really cool to see it all come full circle. And a lot of it's due to the efforts of Linda. She's also done a great job as the Booster Club president. I know she killed it with the mom sale this year. It was a big hit, and she raised over $300 for new books at the school library. So that was awesome. And then just, Margaret touched on this, but just as a person who lives here, she went above and beyond during the holiday season to make sure our students, our residents have what they need, whether it's meals or clothes or toys to celebrate the holidays. So props to her. She does an amazing job in everything she does.
This is someone.
Throw it at her.
I was gonna say, don't hit her with it.
Nice, Kim.
Handshake too, Kim.
I mean, I met your mother, like the two of you up here together. I mean, I would be so
Kim, be
proud.
more like
That's
Linda,
so
will you?
awesome. That's true. That's true.
Can you take one?
Still smiling. No, you can see it. Still smiling.
Thank you.
Ready?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
All right. Thank you for everything.
No.
Were you told I to go?
Yeah, I told you.
Yes. Okay, and our next, who I sort of jumped over Linda to Shannon. Shannon is in our business office. And if you haven't met the folks that work in our business office, they're some of the hardest working people. They are incredible resources. They are committed to their positions, and Tim nominated Shannon as someone you should know.
Shannon has been an integral part of the launching of our benefit program. We went from one co-op to the other and had to re-enroll all of our employees into the new program. That all went off very smoothly, so that's terrific. An attribute. We also launched the new benefit program. We have flexible spending now. A little bit of a late start, but it'll grow. I truly appreciate her. She's done a great job, as has all my team. Quite frankly, I've got 4 great ladies back there, and they work very well together. It's a terrific team. So I appreciate you. Shannon also sings, usually. Get her up there to do it.
No pressure. Tim.
Prove it.
He also sings when you wear red. too.
Oh, there you go.
I know.
All right, ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
huge benefit like that affects every person.
Yes.
That concludes our someone you should know portion of our report.
Thank you. That's the way we have.
Yeah.
So, we had, we referenced it a little bit with, Ms. Knigo, but we also, Deb Mississich, would you like to talk a little bit about the food drive? She did an incredible amount of work this year. Myers Foods on Western Avenue here donated $3,000 for our families. Deb worked with the Illinois State Board of Education, and we were able to provide food for families. So do you want to talk about, because this was over Christmas break. This was when everybody else was off.
Yeah.
Food service was coming in, feeding our families. Do you want to?
Yeah, it really was a big team effort. Again, thanks to Myers, they really, Jan Stanton works with Myers a lot for our adult education and our community programs. And so she pointed me in that direction, and they really went way farther above and beyond than I expected. $3,000 to spend on groceries, which was a lot of food. So coordinating with them, they were great and being able to bring in a lot of product for us. Thanks to our maintenance staff who went and picked it up. They were also a big part in getting the bags to some of our community members who did not have transportation. So that was a big thing too. Again, it was a lot of work packaging all these products together. Not only we did 5-day meal kits for both days, the 21st and the 28th. A lot of product went into that, packaging it. So not only was it my food service staff, but some administrative staff came in and different people around the district. So again, it was a huge effort, and it really worked out well. We were able to feed our families during this time, and it was free. We were able to give them the groceries, which consisted of, brand name cereal, some paper towels, and some other miscellaneous items. So overall, it was really successful, and I can't thank everybody enough for helping out with
How
it.
many families did we feed?
So we fed, it was about, we had 250 meals that we gave out for the first, it was about 250 each day.
Wow.
So,
I can't even imagine $3,000 worth of groceries.
yeah,
Like
pallets,
how, I
pallets
mean,
of stuff, yeah.
my
We had to bring in 2 trucks for that, and it was a lot of
That's
product,
remarkable.
yeah.
That
So,
is
but we were
just-
able to stretch it and really make it worth.
That is amazing.
Unbelievable.
Huge shout out to you and all the staff and everyone that participated. I know it was a team effort, like you said, and I kept hearing all the great things, and it was on social media. Did you go over to Central and pick up and it's available, and that we were able to serve our community, in times of need. And so we are so grateful. Thank you to your kitchen staff for going above and beyond and really helping our community.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
Our community education program continues to thrive, even though it is virtually. The parent English class continues second semester. And 2 classes will be offered this semester, one dealing with art and the other in cooking. I'm signing up for that class.
Really clever.
And you can, there's a link there, you will be given a link where we will have demonstrations. Then you take it home and then you can practice in your own home. Ms. Stanton has received funds from Marquette Bank and Meyer Foods. They have donated funds for the second semester. And there's a flyer that's attached that will be on our website for anyone who is interested in those 2 classes. So one is art and the other is for baking and recipes, cooking. And our parent English class will continue next semester.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Good job, well done.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Dr. Longo, are you signing up for the cooking class?
We have one request for freedom of information that's in your packet and our response.
Okay.
And then It's not on the agenda, but Margaret and I will talk about our visit on January 13th to Harvey Public Schools District 152.
So we went to looking at how we can increase our engagement in technology and science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Harvey, which is located south of here, it's a district with a high low-income count, but wonderful resources for kids in those areas. So we met with the curriculum director. We met with the board president was there. The superintendent, we met with several of their teachers to talk about how they're engaging kids in STEAM. One that really, Vita and I talked about afterward that really made our heart burst, right, was that they had children with disabilities who seemed to be disengaged in the learning process. And they started offering STEAM to the children, and their education and their ability increased significantly because of their engagement in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So the goal is always engaged learning. You know, we have Project Lead the Way at the middle school. We are looking at ways to expand offerings all the way to kindergarten. We're so grateful to have partnerships with other districts. Harvey being one. Leila and I did some interim work there and got to know the curriculum, and actually hired the curriculum director. And the work that she has done in the area of STEAM is incredible. Leila, do you want to add to that?
I can just tell you that this district is close to my heart because I spent 15 years there as their superintendent. And to see what they have been able to accomplish using the dollars to get so that the children will have these opportunities is just, it's a career, college to career focused curriculum. And so it's just, and they want to come and visit us too. So hopefully this partnership, you can become critical friends to each other as we learn from each other, because there are wonderful things happening here that we believe they could benefit from as well. So it was a great trip back home where I had to officially divorce them because my heart stayed there for so many years, and I retired in 2012. No, 15. No. 2010, see?
Was there?
There we go. You're not really officially divorced.
I'm not really divorced. But no, it was a great opportunity. They fed us this fantastic breakfast. Where I'm telling you, the one thing I do not miss is the amount of food we consume. With homemade grits and the whole bit, you name it, they had it. But they just welcomed us wholeheartedly. And they were anxious and excited to just show, because there are some great things happening in that community that you won't hear about unless you go to visit.
And we had our teachers with us as well as our administrators. Anybody want to add anything to it? So they're real quiet.
I know. Well, I certainly invite people to look on our social media page because we have some great pictures from your visit there. I was clicking and clicking, and it looked like an amazing school district. So very proud to have shared that experience. Thank you.
That concludes our report.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake on the agenda, right?
Well, we could just say that the committee of the whole for January 27th, we are not holding.
Right.
So
Canceled?
we had it today before our meeting. So I guess that is our update, just so that everyone.
Okay.
Apologize about that. All right. So is there anything else that we'd like to add or share tonight right now before we move on?
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. There are so many great things going on. This is a great night of celebrations for many reasons. So we're going to move on to the business office with Mr. Kostecki, giving us our monthly financial reports. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. All right, we're halfway through the year.
Yes. Doesn't feel like it, but yes, okay.
No, one can't prefer it to be over, but anyway.
Ah.
Right now, our revenues are very, very flat with last year's levels. We're ironically within about $30,000 of last year's levels. So overall levy collection has been very good, which is very encouraging given these times. Right now, we're about $200,000 higher in our levy collections than we were at this same time last year. So that's all very well and good. And our total levy collections are about 97.9%. So we usually do about 98, which is what we did last year, and we probably will track stronger than that. But levies right now, that you collect a little bit in December, and you collect nothing in January, nothing in February. So we're definitely going into our dry months for the next couple months. Our PTAB, where they're protesting your assessment values, is pretty much flat. They're about 200,000. I budgeted 400,000. So to be halfway through the year and be halfway through that money, hopefully that will hold, but it's hard to tell. All of a sudden you can get a large claim and throw the entire budget right off. As far as expenses, right now our expenses are running about $150,000 less than they were at the same time last year. And given the fact that we've spent over like $670,000 on COVID-related expenses, had that not taken place, which of course it did, we would be about $800,000 favorable to last year's spending levels. There's good and bad with that. Unfortunately, quite a bit of the savings is from our substitutes. I budgeted high for amount of substitutes, and we're having a hard time bringing in substitutes. So conversely, we're saving. Also in transportation, we're just not having the same kind of transportation bill expenses that we've had in the past. So there are a lot of ups and downs with the expenses, but generally speaking, we're running favorable to budget right now. And if that trend continues, that would be great.
Yes.
Of course.
As far as the audit, we have not completed our audit yet. I sent probably 15 to 20 different requests to the auditors. Most of it's actuarial based. The actuarials have to come up with the footnote, and per our auditor's suggestion, we used a different actuarial firm, and it's been a nightmare. They seem to be close. I would presume that next month I will present the audit and find out the
Usually
net
have
result.
it by now, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we would normally
Last
have
year
it
we
by-
did
Oh, we
not.
normally have
Last
it in
year.
October.
I thought so,
Yeah,
so
so
goodness.
It's
okay.
quite ridiculous. What else was there that I wanted to mention? I'm sure you all studied my financials from last month, this month, and you'll notice that there was a large payment at our debt service. We make our usual large principal payment of I think it was $1,100,000 this month. That leaves us with a total debt remaining of about $4 million, which generally speaking should take about another 3.5 years to click down to zero. We only have one debt remaining, and that's from the central middle school renovation. And as far as cash flow, we are fairly similar to where we were at the last year at this time, which is 3.2 months, which obviously it has its highs and its lows. A couple of months ago, I was speaking of 6 and 7 months worth of supplies. So overall, we're tracking well. Is there any questions?
Why are we so low on our cash? Like, how did we go from, we were 5.4 months, I believe, to 3.2?
Well, I mean, a lot of that it flows with levies right now, because our levy collection in December is low. It'll get lower in January and February and then start to pick up. We have, it's just very seasonal. We collect about $8 to $10 million during 2 or 3 months cycles. January, February, March is very strong. Then, I mean, February, March, April, and like July, August, September are very strong. So you kind of.
And the tax bills come out the month before, the month after, kind of?
Pardon me now?
It's kind of like what, in conjunction with like when the tax bills come out.
That's right, because they get collected by the county and then they remit them on to township and then on to us.
Right. All right.
All right. Well,
Claudia, do you have any questions?
No, I do not. Thank you.
all right. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, so the Student Support Services, Dr. Vita Newman. I know, Dr. Vita.
Dr. Vita Newman.
So I wanted to provide you with an update regarding some initiatives that we're coordinating in the department, as well as professional development. You can go to the next slide. So the first one is the COVID grant update. So in November, Dr. Longo and Dr. Bridges Webb urged me to apply for this COVID grant that came across their desk. And there were multiple layers to the application process. The first one was obtaining the CLIA waiver, which allows each of our schools to serve as a testing site. We obtained that approval during the winter break. And then we had to apply to IDPH to obtain free kits to administer to our students and staff.
Amazing.
Wow. And so we have those on hold at the local health department, and we can pick those up.
Wow.
One concern was the standing order. Dr. Bridges Webb urged me to reach out to Advocate because we have a standing partnership with them, and to ask if they would provide the standing order, physician's order. And so they have extended that grace to provide the physician order for us. We are meeting with them tomorrow to talk about our next steps, which is phase 2. And that's developing our district procedures on how we're going to handle the kits, to provide training to our nurses, and to communicate to our stakeholders about this test. And it's going to be free. So it's a free rapid test. It's by nasal swab. It takes 15 minutes and we have the results. Some additional components to it is that we have to report the results to IDPH immediately. If we fail to do so, there's $1,000
Wow.
fee.
So like when you say that we will now be able to eventually roll out something that will allow our students and staff to be tested, I'm assuming?
Mhm.
Is this on an as needed basis, like students are showing symptoms or somebody showing symptoms? Or is this like
So-
U of I where they go 3 times, or you don't know yet?
Well,
Or
we can order as many as we want to, but they have a limit on how many you can order at a time.
Okay.
So right now we ordered 1 for every student and every staff member.
Okay.
Our committee will decide how we're going to do this. I mean, every school district is using it differently.
Okay.
We reached out to District 90 and they indicated that they're just making it available. If people want to take the screening, they can. I envision that we would probably use it in the same manner. And then parents have to sign permission to allow us to give their child the test.
Oh, makes sense.
And so we obtained a sample letter that they've used that we can give to our legal counsel, of course, to look over first. But they could sign a form first before we administer the test to any student.
Dr. Newman has done an incredible amount of work on this.
Yeah,
Incredible amount of work.
it sounds like she's not telling us enough of what she has done. I agree. It can't be as easy as like.
I can tell you, Google was my friend. I had no idea what CLIA waiver was.
This is absolutely positively great news. The fact that we are in person, we offer in-person learning, we can hopefully roll this out in a manner that will be wonderful for our staff and our kids, and it will, oh my gosh, this is
And
terrific.
through our partnership too, we're working, we let our staff know yesterday that we are with Christ Advocate working on, we became a partner to administer the COVID vaccine. Yesterday, we met with the ISC, Leland and I met with the ISC. So we're also partnering with the Cook County Department of Health. So we have 2 opportunities to get vaccines for our staff. And that includes board members, substitute teachers, everybody on staff.
Oh, that's our substitutes. That's a great.
Everybody that comes into our schools to
Wow,
work or to serve would be eligible to receive the vaccine.
That's amazing.
fabulous. Wow.
That's wonderful. Great news.
You're like, whoa.
Up for the next opportunity.
It crossed their desks.
More information will follow tomorrow after we have our meeting. with
Of
them.
course, of course. that
Oh,
makes
of
sense.
course.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you. Dr. Peter.
And so the next initiative is the SEL Assessment Committee. This year, we moved away from using Ames Web. And so we formed a committee in December. It included 28 staff members, teachers, social workers, psychologists, all of which serve on their school PBIS team, as well as our assistant principals and the district administration. And our task was really to explore some additional social emotional learning tools that we could possibly adopt for the district. We discussed what our priorities were, and I listed some of the priorities that we discussed on that day. You know, we want a tool that's going to be evidence-based and aligned to the social emotional learning standards. We really want to get away from a deficit mindset and thinking and talking about our kids to more of a strength-based model. We wanted something that had a balance between identifying internalizing as well as externalizing behaviors. And then our social workers and psychologists talked about once we identify students, it would really be nice to have interventions embedded within the platform. And then, of course, ongoing professional development. And so these are the vendors that we looked at. The last 2 were the front runners, DESA and SSIS. We still need to meet again as a committee to really narrow our focus and identify, again, what our priorities are and decide on which of those assessments we're going to adopt. We had a discussion about Ames Web behavior because we didn't necessarily say we were going to get rid of it altogether. We just wanted to look at some additional tools. And all of the committee members said that they wanted to move away from Ames Web behavior. So we will meet again and make a decision, and more importantly, decide what the rollout is going to be, whether we're going to implement it this year or next year.
I can just interject that. So Dr. Newman also saw that there was a need for our community and worked with Christ Hospital to bring parent development workshops, right, on mindfulness, that kind of thing. An outgrowth of that is we looked at our teachers and we know that it's hard. We know that this year is really hard for our teachers. So Dr. Newman then reached out to Christ and asked them to do a mindfulness workshop for our teachers. And that's how we began the school year, the second part of the school year, right after New Year's. And it was so well received. So we're grateful for you, like keeping your finger on the pulse of not only our students, but our staff too, and their needs.
All right, next. All right, so CPI training. Arrow was informed last school year that we were moving away from Menta because they're no longer doing physical management of students. And so as a cooperative, we talked about other tools that we could use or models that we could adopt, and CPI was one of the front runners. And there is used extensively in the south suburbs, at least out by you too. And so, so this year we decided to do the training. We were grandfathered in until January, and so it was important for us to start the training with our staff. So there was a 3-phase process. Our teachers completed a self-paced modules, which really went over the CPI philosophy and de-escalation techniques for students. And then we engaged in virtual training with the Aero staff, and it was more interactive to apply those strategies. And then we had the in-person training, and this is a picture that Alex took. The person in blue is Tim Sheldon's wife.
No, the person in blue is Maggie Sheldon. Clear about that. That is Maggie Sheldon.
She was wonderful.
On record
I would
now.
like to be able to go home. At some point.
Maggie Sheldon, for the record,
She's
it's Maggie
talented.
Sheldon. She's awesome. She's outstanding. I have to agree with that. But it was a great training, and I really do appreciate, I mean, I did like Minta as a model, but CPI provides some additional measures that we can take to protect students as well. And so I was really impressed with the training that they provided us. All right, next. And then the last update is regarding our recovery services. So our special education department, including our teachers and related service staff, looked at every student's IEP and completed a data analysis worksheet. And I asked them to ask this question. And looking at pre-COVID data with STAR and progress monitoring data and our fall benchmark data, is the student on target to meet their IEP goals and objectives? If the answer was yes, they're not eligible for recovery services, but we're going to continue to monitor them. A lot of students' IEP, our annual review meetings weren't coming up, and so we still need to monitor their progress on their IEP goals and objectives. For those students that are not on target, where the answer is no, they are eligible for recovery services. And what we're proposing is that we provide remote services after school, 3 days a week between February and May, or during summer school for 1 additional hour. And we wanted to provide parents with that option because the school day can be very long, their own work day could be very long, and they may not want the after-school services. So at least they have an option to choose from.
Those are great options, because I agree, some of those kids that need the services could not take another hour after school. But summer school, certainly an additional hour wouldn't be also great. That's great, great option for our parents.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Dr. Newman,
No.
thank you so much. I am just floored by all the hard work that you've put into, help during this pandemic, keep our kids safe and our schools safe, and that this grant that you have secured with the help of the administration is just, an advocate, Aurora, is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, it's
we are
great.
so grateful for everything that,
It's great working for these interim superintendents. They really challenge me. And we also have an awesome administrative team.
Yes, we certainly do, yes.
All
So
right,
thank you
you.
so much. We
you.
appreciate it. All right. Does anyone have anything else for Dr.? No, she already ran away from us.
They passed the baton already.
She couldn't wait to get off.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Prado. So curriculum and instruction with Mrs. Prado this evening. Thank you. It's been a long time since we've seen you up here. I feel like our meetings are.
Yeah, I think you'll see me lots more in the upcoming months. We've got things actually happening different than getting ready for, graduation. Pictures, or we got cap and gowns ordered, like, all that stuff. But I did want to just update you a little on 2 of the professional development days that we've had. So January 4th, we typically have that Monday after the holiday as our professional development. We weren't really sure. I think, the teachers, they need a lot of support, but we've been offering it kind of at their beck and call for whenever they need it. Coaches have been in there helping as much as we can. They've been helping each other tremendously with how to navigate remote learning and synchronous teaching. So it's been really nice to see that. But we did devote January 4th to ed tech and just making sure that the educational technology apps that are out there that the teachers are using. So we wanted this to be the teachers presenting and saying like, I've used this, it works great, let me share. And we had, I think about 4 of the presentations were by our teachers, presented to the teachers of things that they were doing. We've done this in years past where we've had like a half-day institute where lots of people, I will say, I think, you know, they're a little burnt out. So we had just a few. We probably in a normal year would have a lot more that would want to stand up and say, let me share. But, you know, they wanted to kind of sit back and learn. So we had these presentations for them on the 4th. So they were able to attend. They were about 45 minutes long. I know I was popping in, they were all via Zoom. And I was popping into many of them. I know Leela was in there too. So I think it was nice to just hear like, I'm going to learn this and now I can go back in my room tomorrow and I can use this. You know, we've had ed tech in the district for a long time. We've been pushing lots of apps and programs, but I think obviously this year the teachers have felt the pressure to need to really understand them and use them in a way that they didn't, even if they weren't comfortable with it, they have found their comfort level in all of it this year. It's been nice to see. So these were some of the sessions that were offered. Flip classrooms is stuff that we've been doing. Google we've been using, but there's some new interactive Google Slides and Jamboard stuff that Katie Dunbeck was able to present. Lisa Cruz did one on just organizing everything because there's so many different things out there. Like just help me, let me help you organize how you can keep all these apps together. So then the Pear Deck and Clever is a program that we use too. So that was a good productive day and it was just a nice way to kind of ease back into the teaching after having the break and learning some of these tools that they could put in place. So that was our January 4th. This coming Friday is one of our 4 half-day institutes that we have at the end of each quarter. The focus for this Friday is going to be on Tier 2 instruction. Obviously, with the change of everything, including staff that we have to support all the needs of the kids and all the different learning needs that they're presenting to us this year, we're really looking to support the teachers on what Tier 2 interventions and supports could look like in the classroom. So these are going to be offered from our reading coach, our math coach, our EL coach, 2 people from
Liz Van Dorn from Success of Change and Jessica Renner, she's in private practice.
Yeah, so doing some of the behavior intervention and some of the other things. So, and then with Renaissance and Freckles specific to the middle school with the coaches there. So that'll be another day, a half-day institute for them just to talk more about, like we've taught them all the tech tools. We've been looking at a lot of data. Now it's like, okay, now how can we pull all this together and say, let's support the learning that's happening and just kind of continue to move to that direction. So those are just 2 of one that we've already had and one that's upcoming that we wanted to share with you.
Excellent.
Okay.
What is Renaissance? ELA and math, what is that?
Renaissance is like our Star and Freckle. That's
gotcha.
Renaissance
Okay.
is the company and Freckle and Star and all that run through
Run
Renaissance.
through it. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is great hearing about all the successes that are going on. Thank you so much for everyone for sharing those. At this time, if anyone has any questions for Ms. Trotto? No? All right. So she too ran off as soon as like, she's like, all right, I'm out of here.
I'm already seated. I don't have to.
So we are going to move on to the public comments at this time. I believe we only had one public comment, correct?
Yes.
Public comment. I gotta put my glasses on. Okay, so this one is, it reads, on behalf of the entire District 124 administrative team, we would like to welcome Dr. Woodland to Evergreen Park School District 124 family. We look forward to getting to know Dr. Woodland and working alongside her to ensure that the district continues to be a great place for our staff members to work and for our students to receive an outstanding education. Welcome, Dr. Woodland.
Oh, thank you so much. That came in quick. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And Joanne and Katie will be joining us tonight, but they will be joining us at the next meeting.
Yes, unfortunately, our 2 co-union presidents were unable to make it, and I'm sure they are very sad, but hopefully watching us and clapping also at home, so thank you. All right, so at this time, we are done with public comments, and we are going to move on to board reports. So the first thing is the board members' elections. currently, the board member election window closed, I think, December 24th, 3rd.
12th to the like 9th.
19th, right, so sometime in December, if you would like to have filed a petition to have your name on the ballot, you would have had to do so this past December. We do have 3 people who have put their names in the hat, and Ms. Klimzak is one of them. So, and then Rachel Mariquin is another one. And Judith Rayson, who is also a community member. So we are excited about the upcoming elections in April. We are grateful that they have chosen to be public servants at the D124. And so that is all I have for the board member elections. And what else? I think it is. Anybody have any questions about the upcoming elections? No. All right, so we're gonna move on. Claudia is still with us? Yep. All right, thank you. And then the B is the Finance Committee report. Dr. Longo and Dr. Webb? I'm not sure, did we have one?
No, that was just if you wanted to talk about
Oh.
the committee of the whole meeting we just had.
Okay. So the Finance Committee report, I think that in talking about the Finance Committee report, thank you, Sonia. You're my other. So on the agenda tonight is to approve the Crystal Financial Consultants. So along with Dr. Grossi, I would suggest that the Finance Committee meet with him potentially one time to sit down and discuss before, I believe he said March would be when he would discuss with the board. But part of the Finance Committee is for us to share what our needs, our wants, our hopes are, also what our no's are and yeses are, and so, and just looking at the overall finances. So I will reach out with the Finance Committee and we will work along with Dr. Grossi to make sure that we've met one time prior to the, and we will certainly extend that invitation to you, Dr. Woodland. Your husband's like, there's another meeting. So, does anybody have any questions? I think.
Makes sense.
Who's on the Finance Committee? I know Kevin's like, and I think, am I on it?
Probably. You should be there.
I think I am. I think I'm on it, and yeah, so we'll get together and figure out a date for that. Thank you. So moving on. All right. Anyone have any questions about that? No. All right. So the consent agenda, moving on to the action items. Consent agenda A is to approve, number 1, the monthly transaction reports for December 2020. Number 2 is to approve the fund balance report for December 2020. Number 3 is to approve the expenditure report and projected payroll report for January 2021. Number 4 is to approve the board minutes from the special meeting of December 10th, 2020. Number 5 is to approve the closed session minutes from the special meeting of December 10th, 2020. Number 6 is to approve the board minutes from the regular meeting of December 15th, 2020. Number 7 is to approve closed session minutes from the regular meeting of December 15th, 2020. Number 8 is to approve the destruction of closed session tapes from the October 2016. Number 9 is personnel recommendations. At this time, I know we have 2 as additions. Are they with us this evening or? No, okay, okay. So we do have 2 additions and we have some FMLA leave and a resignation to retire and a resignation. So for C, resignation with intent to retire. It is with sadness that we have this on our agenda.
Denied.
Mr. Kostecki, our business manager, plans to retire this coming June 30th, and we are so grateful for your years of service. I'm very sad to hear that you are leaving us.
My wife is too.
So it is with that I would like someone to please make a motion to approve consent agenda A as outlined in our agenda.
I'll make that motion.
And a second,
I'll second.
and a roll call.
Colleen Clemzak,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine, Gina Cannon, yes, and Kim Leonard.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
We can make that motion, but not be happy about that.
Right.
Kim, Just so you know.
So. B is to approve the resignation agreement and general release with John Portella. Do I have someone to make the first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second
I'll second.
and a roll call?
Gina Cannon, yes. Colleen Clemzak,
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor.
Yes. Motion
Motion is passed.
C is to approve the second reading and adoption of revised board policies 265, 620, 640, 6280, 6340, and 7100 as recommended by the Illinois Association of School Boards. Do I have somebody to make the first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second
I'll Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
and a roll call?
Colleen Clemzak,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Catherine Fontaine.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
D is to approve the second reading and adoption of revised board policy 7325 as recommended by the Board Policy Committee. Do I have a first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second
I'll second.
and a roll call?
Colleen Clemzak,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine.
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Motion has passed.
E is to approve Crystal Financial Consultants Incorporated as the financial advisor for District 124 at the cost of $5,000 for the 2020-2021 school year. Do I have someone to make that first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second
I'll second.
and a roll call?
Gina Cannon, yes. Kevin O'Connor.
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine.
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Colleen Clemzak.
Yes.
Motion has passed.
All right. At this time, I would like to make a motion to recess to closed session to discuss the employment, appointment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee of the district or legal counsel for the district, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel for the district to determine its validity. I'm sorry, do I have somebody to make that first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second
Second.
and roll call?
Colleen Clemzak,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor.
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Catherine Fontaine, Claudia Parker.
Yes.
Motion has passed.
Okay, so before we go into, recess to closed session, I do not believe we'll be taking any further action. So you are more than welcome to enjoy your night, take a piece of cupcake for the ride home. We will come out back into open session, but it will just be to adjourn. There will be no further actions or voting. So thank you for the lovely evening.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being
I
here.
look forward to meeting you all.
So